Hello, all you market traders and profit takers. This is your Forex University at yourforexuniversity.com, and we're going to review and forecast the end of the week, October 31st, 2014. First of all, obviously, as we always do, we like to look and see where did everything take place, what happened. As you can see here, we've got a nice week this week. We ended up with 748 pips for the end of the week. That's a lot of money. And we had a few expenses to pay despite the expenses. As you can see, all I can do is tell you what happened. We had the expenses on the Aussie. We paid for that throughout the week. Everything we did on the Aussie just didn't seem to turn out too good. No entries when we had them going, and then got caught in the tailspin there on Wednesday and couldn't get it back on Thursday. No entry on Friday, but that's okay. We had 310 pips on Friday with the yen. That's phenomenal. The yen hasn't made that kind of move in years, and we were fortunate enough to be right there on the wave of that. Wednesday we took some expenses on the euro, the Aussie, and the franc. Fortunately, however, we were able to get some signals during the session to let us know that we were reversing and it wasn't going to be pretty. And we did it. We made our move, and boy, I'm so glad we did, because it brought us a good profit. Ended up the day at the end on Wednesday with 157 pips, despite the 3 expenses that we paid with the franc, the euro, and the Aussie. Now, this is the perfect example. Once again, I think we went over this before. We've caught a few times. It's so important that you use your money management techniques, because if we weren't using money management techniques, this day on Wednesday could have been catastrophic. We could have lost hundreds of pips. However, we used good money management, kept our expenses at a controlled level. We say to ourselves in our money management, make sure that if I'm going to pay an expense, it's only going to be a certain amount, and we're not going to just let our money just fly out the window, you know. Okay, let's move on into the chart and see what's been going on. Well, here's the Aussie's weekly chart, and as I said weeks ago, that we would see either a move to the upside or some consolidation would start if we did not break that low, and we did not break that low, and exactly what has happened. We have started having, to this point, it's been consolidation. We're going to see how that goes. We might come back down here to this GAN level at the 86. What is that? 86.50 or something? 86.59 rather. And we've found the ceiling up here at the other GAN level at 88.99. Okay. So right now it's being contained, and we'll see how it plays out. We haven't broken any of the trend channels yet. The trend channels are opened up a little bit. That's a bit of a signal that things are kind of leveling off and are about to close back in. Once they close back in, we'll see the change of sentiment and so forth. Over here on the Euro Weekly, we're going to see the same thing. And we're up and down. Oh, but you know what? We did kind of break this low a little bit. We'll have to see if things are going to head on back down. Now, also keep in mind, on the Euro, it's weaker than the Aussie, and the fact that we closed below the GAN level here twice. We've double bottomed out on this GAN level. Now, we don't want to break this low from this past week here. Otherwise, we're going to see some movement head its way down some more. Possibly to this 124.40. We'll see. We have to keep an eye on the quick view levels as well. That's important. Over here on the pound, not as weak as the euro. It's still another consolidated area. It's holding up in one area. Notice that we've got these value areas, these gray value areas that are holding price. that could turn out to be where this thing lays for the rest of the year with these value areas. Sometimes things get caught inside of a value area and it can stay there for a while, like we did with the yen. Remember at the beginning of the year, we were caught between these two value areas here on this weekly chart on the yen. And since I have the yen open now, I mean, take a look at this week that we just finished off with. The yen is the only one that is breaking out like that right now. Um, Look at the franc, it has a form of consolidation. The Canadian dollar is kind of flattened out there too. The Kiwi's flattening out. The pound is flattening out. The euro is flattening out with a little bit of weakness to it. And again, the Aussie flattening out. So what do we do now? Where do we go from here? Well, let's start looking at this Aussie. We realize that we have not closed above any trend channel or anything like that. We've peaked up. We've got this dragonfly doji going on to the bearish side. We might see prices come below this, but if it does, that's going to mean some bearishness certainly on this euro. Will probably be breaking its lows, going down to some new lows. So what do we need to do here? Well, let's go back to the Aussie. We need to start another running line on this by the looks of it. Let's try and see what happens if we do it this way and see how that works out with the Aussie. Over here on the euro, we're looking at making a move to adjust this possibly. Let's see what we need to do. Can we do it this way? It's a little aggressive. Let's make another running line on it as well and see here. See if we can get, yeah, right there. Okay, it's a little aggressive. Maybe if we moved it down, get a better angle on it from this point, because that was somewhat of a new confirmation from here. All right, and let's see how that works out. Let's see, do we have any value areas that we need to be aware of at this point by us dropping this low? Let's get a little look at that. Well, here is a rejection value area down here. And we are in somewhat, it's not the value area from that year. The value area is up here. However, we may want to take note of it for now. It's around this 121.34 GAN area here. Is this a GAN area? No, it's not. It's just a level. My mistake here. Sorry for that. Let me put this in real quick. I know it's a ways away, but we want to be prepared. And with things being as they are, you never know. So let's put this value area down here. See what happens. All right, let's move on to the pound. Pound needs an adjustment on this trend line here. And again, we're between these two value areas. We don't want to break the lows here. We could actually break this low and hit this 158.17 GAN area. 158.17. Yeah, 158.17. It could touch that and find support there. It's not too far away from this value area for it to be significant enough to stop it from bouncing back forward again. Plus we have, I see a 618 Fibonacci retracement, and it's coming from a ways back in 2013, June of 2013. So that that can become bullish for us right down here in this area of 157.80 or so. All right, and it's also in, no, it's not. Okay. All right, And on to the Kiwi. We're still looking at some bearishness taking place. The Canadian dollar, we need to readjust this trend line here. We could probably almost eliminate it because it's awfully close to the old running line. And matter of fact, I think that's what we'll do. We'll just eliminate that trend line there. We won't need it. We could probably just readjust this one. It's a little tight with this doji. We don't want to get too aggressive. So we'll leave it. And now the franc. Franc is right. We don't need to change a thing right now. Let's see here. Notice this target area is meeting up with these trend line crossings here. That's 99.40s or so, 99.28 or somewhere in there, looking for some targets to take. And finally, of course, well, what's to say about that? We hopefully maybe we might get a retracement. Okay, but here's the catch. We're right on the 125. You see it over here? We're right there. So we might need to be cautious on all you bulls. Be cautious. Be cautious. We need to find some GAN levels above there. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. We've got the level here that's right underneath the 125, this GAN level here. It's right under the 125 extension. So that's something to keep our eyes on, all you bulls. Also, above us, we've got another one up here at this 113.46 or so. So that's another spot we might see some movements coming for, heading things off for some retracements, some new retracements to come in, or even turning around the sentiment. So that's where we are on the yen and the francs and the CAD and the Kiwi, the pound, the euro. Let me zoom in so you guys can see that a little better. There we go. There's the euro, the weakening euro, the strong Aussie, but it's looking like it's going to come down possibly again. We might not hit this low. We might find ourselves going back up again or getting an inside bar on this somewhere. We'll see. We'll see. All right, now, I'm your FOREX University professor at yourforexuniversity.com, making the review for the week ending of October the 31st, 2014. Until next week, may all of your trading be profitable, and we'll see you soon.